But I don't think it's enough, and I'm sure people here agree, to just unite about what's wrong with the Labour government. I think what's important is we've got to unite and agree about what we're going to do, to challenge the injustices, both industrially and politically, to give ourselves the belief that we can indeed win the better society that everybody wants, both in this country and indeed internationally. And I start from that point, because if we don't agree on the way forward, then the reality is we will be here next year, and the year after, and the year after, and we will condemn what is going on, but we will be no nearer finding the solution to change things. And therefore I start by saying that we have to remember still to be angry. We have to remember to get outraged about what is going on. And I want to very briefly put the anger of the union that I represent into context in terms of the other things that we've heard tonight. I mean, we could talk about the health service, the education service, we could talk about war, we could talk about racism, we could talk about the disgraceful policies of this government that sees people deported every day to other parts of the world where they will face violence and sometimes death. And it's sometimes easy to think it's shocking and we forget the need to be angry. And I think we've got to be angry and determined to do something about it. Let me tell you something about what's happening to PCS members at the moment. 3 weeks ago in Scotland, in Stirling, local churches had to give out 134 food vouchers to some of the poorest people in Britain who were entitled to social security payments but could not get them because there was not enough staff in the office to
anything more disgusting than talking about people who have suffered in a fire as customers. It's sick and it's inhuman and it needs to be challenged. The march of socialism and of Marxism, I have to say, in the movement that's opening up in Britain and worldwide. We have, as the backdrop to this discussion that's taken place here tonight, not only the development in outline of new mass workers' parties, the outline I would say, but the development now of a devastating economic crisis that is there out there, that is going to shape the lives, conditions and the outlook of millions of workers in Britain and worldwide in the next period. Who remembers now that Gordon Brown spoke about abolishing the boom and bust cycle of capitalism? You cannot now open a newspaper in Britain without seeing a mention of recession and even of slump. It's pictured almost as an act of God, as a force of nature. This is nothing of the kind. The crisis that is developing now is a product of a cheated on the brink of a crisis in 1998. We got out of it by the dot-com bubble. Then we had another crisis in 2001, and they shoveled cash through low interest rates, combined with the increase in house prices, an enormous extension of debt from which working people are suffering today. Now, and that resulted in the catastrophe of Northern Rock, when the government, in effect, stepped in and carried out a de facto nationalisation, at least, of the assets of Northern Rock. Now we have the chairman of Northern Rock this week calling for the outright nationalisation. What happened to deregulated capitalism? What happened to the perfection of the market? What happened to all those ideas saying that nationalisation, state control, were things of the past? They went with the collapse of the Berlin Wall. As soon as the system is in danger, the capitalists themselves are clamouring for the state to come in. We support nationalisation. 6,000 jobs of Northern Rock workers at stake, but not lavish overcompensation to the fat cats. If there's going to be compensation, let it be on the basis of proven need, and let's say on the unemployed rates, or the miserly income of the old age pensioners in Britain today, 1/5 of whom can only heat one room in their house in the winter because of what they're living on at the present time. In other words, nationalisation is back on the agenda. Jobs of Northern Rock workers at stake, Well, not lavish overcompensation to the fat cats. If there's going to be compensation, let it be on the basis of proven need, and let's say on the unemployed rates, or the miserly income of the old age pensioners in Britain today, 1/5 of whom can only heat one room in their house in the winter because of what they're living on at the present time. In other words, nationalisation is back on the agenda because of the contradictions of capitalism.